This episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by Liquid IV. October is here, and that means the weather is getting cooler, football is on every weekend, and Halloween is nearly upon us.
And with so much to like about October, make sure you're at your best with Liquid IV's new Hydration Multiplier Plus Immune Support Mango Passion Fruit. 1 stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone, and with 5 times the daily value of vitamin C and 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, Hydration Multiplier Plus Immune Support gives you the scientifically formulated immune support you need.
So tear, pour, and live more and support everyday wellness with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code RAW at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code RAW at liquidiv.com. Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
Welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, we're talking this week's Monday Night Raw, where the answer, at least for now, to Jimmy Uso wanting Jey Uso, they want to pull him back in, is no yeet.
No yeet.
No yeet.
No yeet.
For now, Larson. This is obviously, this was a taped episode.
Yeah.
Of Raw. This was like 1997 again.
And this was the bit we're talking about here was probably actually taped on SmackDown, I would think.
I could see that being the case, yeah. Yeah,
I think Jay was there for a dark match after the show.
Oh, okay. Well, that would make sense.
Yeah.
And plus, I don't recall. I saw some of the spoilers for what happened, and I don't recall this being in them. And so, I don't think this played for the live crowd, but I could be wrong about that.
Well, hey, hold on a second.
What?
Is there something with the final boss that happened in this Raw?
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
I thought I saw something that The Rock was at this taping, but I guess maybe I was mistaken.
Oh, wow. No, I didn't see that. Are you thinking like a Raw that happened like 10 years ago, like Meltzer did that
could
time?
be, but I thought I saw a video of him showing up at the end of it. Maybe again, it was just for the live crowd, but I don't know.
My
memory's garbage.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know about that one. Maybe somebody in chat will have that info for us. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. So that happened. Rhea Ripley teamed up with Tiffany Stratton. And then for the main event against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, as we assumed, would be showing up to Raw, did in fact show up to Raw to wonk that finish. But yeah, I don't know. In general, and also we got the rematch set up for the Intercontinental Championship.
That's going down next week.
Bron Breakker, where would you like to begin?
Let's start with Jimmy and Jay. It seems like the Bloodline saga is back to being the A story in all of WWE. Mm-hmm. Now that good Bloodline's trying to get back together. Jimmy, as you mentioned, going to Raw, making his pitch to Jay. And Jay, he's got his Yeet shirt that's got the gold logo on it. He's got the Intercontinental title. He's like, stuff's going good here, man.
Oh, he doesn't need any of that drama.
He said, I don't want to deal with any of this. He didn't say this, but literally there was like 10 words exchanged the whole time.
Not a lot. Just go away is basically what he said.
Yeah. But, Jay has got it pretty good there on Monday Night Raw. He doesn't need the distraction of the Bloodline right now when he's trying to defend the title against Bron Breakker. And then with the rematch scheduled next week, I don't know if it's looking terribly good for a lengthy Intercontinental title run for Jey Uso because he's getting back in the Bloodline story. Now, whether it's bad Bloodline costing the belt, Jimmy inadvertently costing him the belt, don't know. But he's probably going to lose that belt next week.
You don't like those odds for? Hey, isn't it kind of what let me ask you this because
Sure.
I'm going big picture in a broad sense here.
Macro.
The idea that this crowd really wants to see Jey Uso get to that next level, get that singles gold because that's what it represents. Validation for this guy becoming the most over guy, the Intercontinental Championship, right?
Yeah.
If Braun wins next week, I don't think the fans are going to bitch too much about it because we had the big moment. And even if it was short-lived, hey, this is way more than Vince ever would have done. They're throwing us a bone. Hey, You had your moment. He got his title. Are you happy now? and then you put it back on Bron Breakker, which fits his story as well. I will be heartbroken because I hear what you're saying and it makes sense. And as soon as I saw that rematch, I'm thinking to myself, no, come on, really?
I know.
Because I think you're right, dude. I think that it's going to go back to Bron Breakker, but I just want the moment where Jay can shove the Intercontinental Championship in Roman's face, man.
I know. So anyways, going back to Cody here says no Rock in the live reports from the taping. And then one on Twitter, it's like, I swear I saw video.
Oh, please tell me it was from 10 years ago.
No, this is dated. I don't know if this is recent video, but the tweet's dated a week ago. So maybe someone tried to pull a fast one on people on social media.
Is it Wrestling Centel?
No, it's not that. No.
You got Centelled, Larson.
So this could be like old video that people are like, look, he was at the taping, but then he wasn't. So much on the social media you see, and you're like, you get a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Anyways, getting back to Jimmy and Jay, it seems like odds are not good for Jay keeping that title very long.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I mean, this is the thing that's okay. We talked about this, I think, on last week's Raw recap, or it might have been the SmackDown one. I'm not sure exactly. Mm-hmm. What would make the most sense to drive Jay back to help Roman and Jimmy? I feel like it'd be more because his success has been compromised by their drama rather than an obligation to his family, which might mean, wouldn't the bad bloodline have to get involved in this match next week?
Yeah, you'd think so, but by doing so, if the idea is that they would get involved as kind of like a warning to Jay, don't get involved because this is what's going to happen. I mean, that would just seemingly drive him to get involved to seek some measure of retribution against bad bloodline.
Yeah.
So I sent you the tweet that I think I saw last week.
Oh, dude, it's like going to be, WrestleMania Centel, whatever it is.
It's not an account I recognize, but it's like, you go scroll and you see a little bit. Oh, all right. And you just keep going. And you don't really put much into it.
What is this? Boogs? AFC_Boogs. Oh man, there are no replies to this thing, and there's
nothing.
One,
I know.
And there's one retweet. Why did this come across your freaking thing?
I don't know.
He only has 8 followers, Larson.
I don't know how that happened. I don't know.
Oh man,
it happened a week ago.
That's fantastic. Wow, this is fantastic. I love it, man.
So
look, I'm susceptible to the same thing. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the situation because the same thing happens
comes across
to me.
the Twitter feed. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
From last week, and then I don't really pay much attention to it, but I recognize it enough that it sticks in my head. It's like, oh, maybe that's going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
And then it doesn't. I'm like, oh, it doesn't happen. And then who knows? That clip could have been from this spring or something.
Oh, it could be Unreal Engine. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not the highest video quality. All right, get back to this. So enough of that. So parallel to Jimmy recruiting Jay back to good bloodline, you have Bron Breakker laying out his claim about why he's going back after the Intercontinental title. And Jay. So essentially he says, I went out there and showed you respect. You didn't give me the same respect in return.
Do you buy that? If I go out there, I
understand why Jay would be hesitant to be like, yeah, cool thing, Bron.
But he did. If I went out there,
he did. He's like, hey, do we have any dogs here? And then that was showing respect. Yeah,
I'm telling you, Bron thinks that he's trying to steal his phrase. No, he was trying to show respect.
Yeah, I don't know. But he had a lengthy promo. He interfered or came out at the end of, he had a match against Kofi. And then Jay came to make the save after Bron was trying to lay out the New Day. And later on, that match was announced. I guess we can go through these segments because it's not a huge chunk of the show, but like especially the Jay and Jimmy stuff. So it's like literally Jay's backstage after making the save for the New Day, opens a door, And Jimmy's just sitting there, and Jimmy says, "You got a second?" And Jay just says, "He doesn't say anything. He just turns around and walks away."
Turns around. It looks like honestly, the look on his face is like somebody dropped a turd in his locker room. But here, this is the beauty of the bloodline. Just the mere sight of Jimmy Uso when he opens that door was like, oh, you know what I mean? And that history that is built in so that now when we get to the point where just the mere sight of his brother waiting for him to talk to him is a moment that I can put on the thumbnail now. That It's like, oh shit, this is I saw I saw a tweet today, and it was it showed side by side the YouTube numbers for Jimmy and Jay. They had like something like 350,000 views, and then Cody and Gunther, which had 170,000 views. And the tweet was like, "Are you guys aren't ready for this conversation?" I'm like, "What conversation?" The biggest story in WWE, maybe WWE history,
maybe wrestling history,
is now being revisited. Of course, it's going to do larger numbers than a thrown together champion versus champion.
Well,
match.
I wonder some of that too, because I saw some conversation about how Gunther putting over Cody during that face-to-face, specifically saying, "Hey, we're in a boom period because of you, Cody." And a lot of people on social media is like, "Oh, that's disrespectful to Roman."
Oh, dude, the Roman stands out there.
Yeah,
Ooh.
but I mean, like, that's Gunther's thing here, at least in this segment. He was trying to in Cody's mind, build them up. So when he takes that jab at him to calling him the secondary champion, it's all the more impactful.
Yeah. No, and here's the thing. That face-to-face was boring. I'm sorry. It's just a bunch of fucking talking. Give me 10 words between Jimmy and Jay. And I'm a big Cody fan.
You're number one Cody fan.
I saw a stat on Twitter the other day. So again, could be a AFC Boog situation. They might have AFC Boogsed me. That said that he's drawn sellout gates for 34 out of 36 main events or something like that over the past however long. I don't know what it was.
Cody has?
Yeah, but it's like a very impressive stat. He has picked it up and he has run with it. The guy sells more merch than everybody.
A lot of athletes, professional athletes.
Look, man, everybody's eating good right now. All right?
Yeah.
The Cody fans, the Roman fans, you don't have to get tested. I'm a big I got the 13-16 title right here, okay? I'm a big Roman fan. I throw my ones up specifically for Roman Reigns.
You're a tribal chief, all right?
Roman Reigns. So everybody's eating good right now. But the bloodline stuff is like, that is the saga. That's what everybody wants. So 10 words between Jimmy and Jay. Hell yeah, I'll take that. All day long, I'll take that.
It wasn't even 10, I don't think.
I think he said, "Get out of my face."
So the first encounter was 4 words. You got a second.
Got 4.
That's what Jimmy says to Jay. And then later, Jimmy's looking for Jay backstage, finds him and says, "Just hear me out." That's 4 more.
Okay, we got 8.
So there's more than 10. All right. So Jay says, "I don't care. Get out of my face." So that's
11.
8 more. So that's what, 16? 16 words.
6. Yeah, I don't know math. Yeah, dude. No, it's that kind of stuff, that earned tension, that earned drama. We just want to see. And again, when Roman drops the yeet, it's gonna one word. It's gonna blow the roof off the place if they execute this properly, and they have a good track record on executing these bloodline segments to perfection. They really do.
They do.
So I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, man, this one backstage encounter, these 2 backstage encounters, that's enough. That's enough to get people talking, and that's how you know it's we're gonna have some good stuff coming. Why are you picking your face? Did you get bit by a mosquito on the face too?
No, I don't think so.
You gotta not leave the back door open, is what I learned.
Yeah. Anyway,
what are
sorry.
you
Continue.
doing over there?
Nothing.
And you just sniff.
I got like an ingrown hair or something in my edge of my beard or something.
What a mess! My goodness, man.
You're the one that's covered in mosquito bites, and I got an ingrown hair, and then you're giving me static?
Look at this. Vicious mosquito attack.
Hell. It's like the bear scene from The Revenant, but a mosquito.
It's like Mansquito coming
I know.
after
Were
me,
you
dude.
fighting that mosquito off with your fists?
Some dude came in. Yeah, man. He gave me a fucking Spanish fly, man. Not the I'm talking about the wrestling move.
Yeah, no, you talk about the wrestling.
Okay, just making sure you gave that look like I was doing.
Well, I mean, it's a mosquito giving a Spanish fly. That's what the look was.
Oh shit, that's hella clever.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, and then Bron Breakker, we're continuing on with this.
Yeah.
How are we doing the notes today?
It's like we did SmackDown. Yeah, it's all based on stories. And so since the Jimmy stuff is running parallel to the Bron stuff, I just put it in one section.
Okay.
So Bron had a promo where he explained why he laid out Jay last week. So he says, you won the lottery when you beat me for the Intercontinental title. So what I do, I came down, showed you respect, shook your hand, and told you congratulations. What did you do? You threw it back in my face as if I wouldn't see it. Not once did you say you respected me. Not one time did you say you respected me as a champion. It made me wonder if you'd be the caliber champion I was. Says, we aren't the same. So pretty much says, I don't need my family, my name, my family's legacy to succeed. You need yours. Mm-hmm. And he says, when we have our rematch, your family cannot save you from me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then Kofi had a match against Bron Breakker. Bron gets the win with a spear. So Xavier Woods comes down because Bron is going to beat up Kofi some more. So Bron leaves the ring. Woods checks on Kofi. But then Bron gets back in and lays out Woods. He's looking for a spear, but then Jay's music hits. He comes to the ring, super kicks Bron, spears him. So then Bron leaves, and then Woods checks on Kofi again. And then Bron gets on the apron, try to sneak attack again, but then Jay super kicks him off. Yeet.
Yeet. Yeah, stood super tall. He's totally losing next week. But I also like how Jay and Woods kept their distance. You know, Jay was helping Kofi. Woods was helping Kofi, but Jay, I was looking very closely. Jay and Woods didn't really have that moment. They didn't touch, they didn't dap, they didn't handshake or nothing like that.
Nope.
And so, you know, that still Woods, you know, remains to be seen what's going to happen with all that.
Yeah. Still pretty grumpy about the whole match last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're going to talk about the line here. Beautiful thing is, Jay, your family cannot save you from me. Might be a little bit of foreshadowing because
Absolutely.
they're not going to save him from him. They're in fact probably going to feed him to Bron Breakker to a degree. Yeah,
I think so.
Before we continue on, Larson, we are going to get a word in from one of our sponsors.
We are. Let's take a quick break here. Get a word from the sponsor of today's episode, Liquid IV. You know, Steve, there's a lot to like about the month of October. You got cooler weather.
True. Yeah. Yes.
Weekend football.
Correct. Yeah.
Halloween.
Ooh.
Yeah. And most importantly for us, the start of professional basketball season.
Correct, Larson. Not to mention our basketball season is still in full swing. That's right, never-ending basketball for Steve and Larson. And to play our best, we need to be at our best. And with Liquid IV's new Hydration Multiplier plus Immune Support Mango Passion Fruit, we get 5 times the daily value of vitamin C and 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, so our body gets the immune support it needs.
Yeah, powered by Live Hydroscience. 1 stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone and is an essential part of our semi-weekly basketball games. You know, I don't know if I could continuously hit three-pointer after three-pointer in your face or step-back shots from half court for 2 straight hours, twice a week, without Liquid IV. And now, with Hydration Multiplier plus Immune Support, we can also get scientifically formulated support for healthy immune systems and all-in-one hydration.
So tear, pour, and live more, and turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration and support everyday wellness with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code RAW at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code RAW at liquidiv.com. Yeah, you gotta start writing me some retorts. You write yourself these baseless claims in the script, and then I don't even get to respond because I got to read the script.
Well, you got to think on your toes, I suppose, huh?
Ad read's going to devolve in just a bit petty bickering.
It's just going to turn into like a Meisner acting
Yeah, right. Yeah.
exercise.
They're going to be like, hey, guys, the client gave us a call. They're wondering why there was no call to action at the end. It was just you guys. Steve hung up on the call. Steve walked away from the podcast mid
Walked away
ad
from the
read.
podcast because you don't want to improvise a retort.
Oh, man, that's
So,
funny.
Steve, earlier you said Gunther Cody's face-to-face was dull, boring, sleep-inducing even.
Yeah,
So I'll agree. It wasn't the most exciting. You know, shoehorning these exhibition-type
Yeah.
matches.
Yeah.
And it's not the first time they've done it for the Saudi shows. We had the Greatest Rumble, Best in the World tournament. Remember that? There was that one trophy they had on the line where AJ faced The Undertaker, and The Undertaker like squashed him in like a minute and a half to win the trophy.
Hey, speaking of AJ, he's going to be out for like a year.
Yeah,
Or
that was Frank injury, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a rough
Yeah,
one.
that's rough. Yeah,
Did
that's
you
a
see
tough
that
one.
leg break in the Lions game the other day?
Yeah. Well, I saw the aftermath. I didn't see the actual break. I just saw when he was on the ground, his leg was kind of like...
Oh, I saw there was like one, they were like slow-moing the crap out of it. That thing wrapped around that dude's leg. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Ugh.
It was rough. It was
Yeah,
like
that's rough.
the UFC fight. What was it? Anderson Silva and Weidman, I think.
Yeah, I've seen that one. So, you know, Cody comes out and really puts over the wrestling history and legacy of St. Louis, where Raw was from. And he said this is where the "We Want Cody" chant started after he kind of inexplicably gave up his Mania main event spot to The Rock, seemingly.
After he sabotaged the main event for WrestleMania.
Yeah. So he eventually asked the crowd, "What do you want to talk about?" This brings out Gunther. And Gunther comes out and says, you know, usually this is where I dress my opponent down and talk uncomfortable truths, but honestly, I don't have much negative to say about you. Says this company, this sport's in a boom period, and it's all built on your back. You make every town, every country, every continent. You are the quarterback of this operation. So, Cody, there's not very many people I respect, but full honesty, I respect you. And he says, but if I were to think about it, there would be one thing. You just love to be everybody's darling. And because you want to be everybody's friend, that's why you're in this mess with Kevin Owens. And he says, Kevin realizes that everybody's friend is actually nobody's friend. So I expect you to sort that out because in Saudi Arabia, I want the best version of Cody Rhodes. And Cody says, oh, what you say is my biggest weakness is truthfully my top strength. Says, I don't have many friends. I don't know if you've been watching every week. If I can make an observation from one champ to another, I know what happens when the ring general throws everything at his opponent and they come back. You get uncomfortable. I saw it firsthand at WrestleMania. You break. Cody, you didn't interpret that match correctly. Hubris cost Gunther that match. Hubris.
When the ring get uncomfortable, yeah, okay. Well, you know, he's playing the same game that Gunther tried to play with Randy Orton. You know.
So he says, I can return a great many things to you about being a great champ, a workhorse. Absolute and utter respect for you. You think you're swimming the deep water. You're still touching the bottom of the pool with your feet. You've never been in the ring one-on-one with me. So Gunther says, fair assessment, Cody. Spoken like a true secondary champ.
Whoa.
That's a good line. And Cody says, there's the dig. I expected it. This is your house. You really become a frightening beast. Secondary champion. Let's not forget I defeated the most dominant champion in company history. And Gunther, I already slayed a frightening beast. So Cody extends his hand. Gunther shakes it and wishes good luck to himself.
Number one, let's just get this out of the way. Cody's not foreshadowing Brock coming back, is he?
I hope not, but then Seth made a reference to Lesnar too.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah. Yeesh.
Certainly
All right,
hope not.
well, we'll leave that alone. Deal with that when we have to, I guess.
Yeah, I don't want to think about that.
But yeah, I don't. I don't. You know, man, it's like WWE. I can't do. You know, when you just throw together matches with no stories. You know, if there was a whole promotion built on that, boy, that'd be boring. You know, nobody would want to watch that. I'm joking. It's a not too subtle shot at AEW. I like AEW just fine. I'm just joking.
At all, no.
I'm just joking. I was seeing how you'd respond. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just a thrown together thing. And here's the thing about it. The Bloodline's gonna mess with this match, or Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens will probably mess.
Somebody's gonna mess with this match, and Gunther will win. Cody can afford to lose something like this because he's wrapped up in all that story stuff. Gunther really can't afford to lose this because he's the ring general. It's like he's not gonna go in and main event WrestleMania in this grand story. He's just gonna be put on these phenomenal matches, and it's gonna be awesome. But Cody's wrapped up in this saga stuff. I just feel like he can afford to lose because it gives him motivation to take on, to deal with whatever he's going to be dealing with.
Kevin Owens,
whatever.
Randy Orton, Bloodline stuff. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Totally. But yeah, I mean, in the meantime, I get it. You want to set this up, and I like both big champions, face to face. That's fine. It was more compelling when it was, for example, Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns. It goes back years to the Thunderdome era, but that was just a real killer, face to face.
Even compared to the Rhea, Liv, Nia Jax, Tiffany stuff.
Oh, I like that stuff, yeah.
Which is a lot more interesting because you have the added element of Tiffany Stratton and her briefcase.
A lot of dynamics there.
There are a lot of dynamics. We're still not exactly sure how Rhea's going to play into the whole thing. She obviously still has... she wants the title back from Liv.
Mm-hmm.
You have Nia utilizing Tiffany when it benefits her, but also doesn't want to put herself in this situation by getting too close to Tiffany. That would open herself up to be cashed in on. Therefore, she wants her to cash in on Liv, so she can't cash in on her. Like, there is a lot of interesting dynamics that helps build the story beyond, all right, your two top champions are facing off.
Yeah.
And it's a bummer that they can't find something for Gunther and Cody along those same lines that makes it more interesting than, all right, our top champions are going to fight for a belt that we won't see again for another year.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It just goes to show it's, and here's the thing, Cody, he can put on really good matches. Gunther, obviously, probably their top match guy in the company. And so the meat of the match is going to be really, really good. I'm sure a distraction finish is going to be what we're going to be getting. But yeah, I'm looking forward. This is one of those. I'm looking forward to the match. The match is going to justify doing this. But I don't know. I don't know how compelling they could get with something like this beyond. I mean, how many? We got 2 weeks left until this. 3 weeks.
3 weeks. 3 weeks. This is November 2nd, so about 3 weeks.
Okay.
If they could somehow find a way to work Kevin Owens more into the story as opposed to this kind of like this looming threat, because I'm guessing he's not supposed to be in the building for a while. They said on SmackDown KO was suspended, fine, still showed up regardless. Now, if it's a situation where SmackDown this week opens up with him trying to get to the arena and Aldous is there with a bunch of security, says, no, you ain't coming in.
Mm-hmm.
You're suspended until whenever, and he's off TV only to show up at Crown Jewel to cost Cody the belt, the Crown Jewel belt. I guess it'd be slightly more shocking because he was suspended and not supposed to be there. But at the same time, I feel like there's a missed opportunity, and I don't know exactly what it is, to work Kevin Owens into this in a way that could add a bit more depth to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or Randy or somebody,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there's a way to do it. But maybe maybe you're right. Maybe they don't want to put out there the idea that this could be wonked by them. And they want to just put it out there that this is going to be a straight up one-on-one situation. But I feel like Cody's going to have his hands full on SmackDown with Kevin Owens showing up. He's trying to focus on Gunther, having to deal with this Orton thing. Randy Orton's going to be a wild card in the situation as well. And, and then it's just going to spill over into Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm. So Rhea opens the show.
Mm-hmm.
She comes to the ring. They do the backstage shot that follows her as she arrives at the arena.
It was like the first like half hour was all women's wrestling.
So she comes to the ring, says, Liv, I'm not done with you or Raquel because it doesn't end until I get my title back. Title I never lost. So she says, Liv, Raquel, if you're done hiding, come to the ring so I can whip your asses. So this brings out Tiffany Stratton. And so she says, not who you were expecting to hear, because I have a very important message from Nia. Stay out of her business or else you're going to have a huge problem. And Rhea says, Tiffany, I understand. You think it's Tiffy time, but it's not. I don't got time for this. I need to get my hands on on Liv or Raquel. Or I'm going to welcome you back to Raw the Rhea Ripley way. So they argue a bit. Raquel and Liv come out and attack them both. Raquel slams Tiffany, goes over to Rhea, hits her with the boot, and then Liv hits Tiffany with the briefcase, and then so Liv and Raquel stand tall to end the segment. So later on, Pierce is backstage. Rhea comes up to him. She says, I want Liv and Raquel in a tag match, or in a match tonight. He says, yeah, that's cool. Not by yourself, though. It's a tag match. You need a partner. So Rhea's like, who am I going to find to be my partner? So Tiffany walks up. And she has issues with what went down earlier. So Pierce suggests, all right, what about Tiffany as your partner? Rhea's not into it, but eventually just says, fine. And then Tiffany's like, what are you talking about? And Pierce says, you'll figure it out. So the match is booked. That's our main event.
Yeah. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. The dynamics here are a lot of fun. I mean, I saw all sorts of, fun memes with Rhea and Tiffany and sort of how diametrically opposed characters they are. And so to see their interplay was really good. And Rhea kind of being forced in this situation. Well, if it's what I got to do in order to get to Liv and Raquel, so be it. I thought the chemistry was all really good. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what it means. Again, I mean, let me ask you this.
Sure.
I think of that last premium live event. I mean, dude, WWE, Triple H is not opposed to having a lot of distraction finishes.
Oh, yes.
I think on that maybe it was the last one, Bad Blood. Yeah, I mean, obviously with Priest and Finn, there was Judgment Day stuff.
Yeah.
Raquel was in the Liv match. What was it? Roman.
Tiffany got involved in Bailey and Nia.
Yeah. There's 3 for 3 right there. Yeah. And then what was it? Roman and Cody and the other.
I'm sure they the Bad Bloodline.
Oh yeah, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa show up.
The only match didn't have interference with the Hell in a Cell match.
And then right, exactly, the Hell in a Cell match, the gimmick match. Yeah. So like clearly these 2 title matches for the stupid 50 carats and diamonds or whatever it is, titles are going to be, they'll have no problem just wonking the shit out of both of these finishes. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming like Liv can lose. They're not going to want Nia. It's sort of similar to Gunther. They're not going to want Nia to eat a pin. So yeah, she's not going to, she's going to win that one and Gunther's going to win the other one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But no, all the dynamics here was really good. A little bit later, also Rhea was warming up backstage. We finally see Damian Priest. He shows up. Why? It's kind of bizarre. He's been the guy that's been cut out of the 2-hour Raws.
Yeah, strange. But then his whole point here is like, I need to get back in the world title picture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, you got to be on the show, Damian.
You got to get booked, buddy.
Yeah.
He hands her a vest. He's like, "You need me out there?" And Rhea's like, "No, it's time for Tiffy to stand on the apron and look pretty. Did you think about what we talked about?" He's like, "Yeah, I have." And she's like, "Look, you've destroyed those boys multiple times and got revenge on Finn. Get back what's yours." And he says, "That's fair. But as long as you have beef with Judgment Day, I have beef. If you ever need me, I'm there. But you're right. I think it's time for Damian Priest to once again be El Campeon." And they hug and he says, "Go handle those girls." And then he flies away to his planet. They need me. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Priest versus a returning Drew McIntyre, maybe over who wants the world title shot.
Yeah, that could be it. That'd
be a good feud right there, man.
That would be. They had their paths crossed multiple times while Drew was trying to win that World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, the big cash in, of course.
Priest cashed in on him, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be a good one.
And then our main event, Rhea and Tiffany taking on Liv and Raquel. Got a DQ finish here because Nia came down to ringside and attacked Rhea. And so Nia then proceeds to lay out Liv, hits her with the Smo drop, leg drop, Annihilator, and then basically orders Tiffany to cash in. Mm-hmm. So Tiffany goes, grabs her case, gets in the ring, is about to hand it to the ref. And while she's explained, that's one trope of the whole cash-in mechanic that I don't really like, is where the person with the briefcase is handing it to the ref, and the ref's like, "You want to cash in?"
Yeah, I mean this was done a little less ridiculous than
It was, but the fact that like Tiffany had her back to Liv and allowed Dom to run out and pull Liv out of the ring so the cash in wouldn't happen. I don't know.
It was all a bit hectic. I'm glad they didn't milk it too much because yeah, she turns her back.'s like, "Hey, here's the briefcase," and he's like, "All right, I just want to make sure." And then like it all goes down. So it didn't feel too awkward to me. I loved when Nia was like spelling it out for her though, because Tiffy did not want to cash in at that moment. And maybe maybe if they would have executed the television direction a little bit better, they could have captured that a bit more. But Nia looks at Liv laying there, looks at Tiffy, says, "Just do it. She's right here." And Tiffy's like, "This is not really how I wanted this to go down. There's too much going on."
Yeah.
You want a nice, comfortable setting where the person's down, nobody else is out there, ref is receptive, you do the damn thing, and you cash in. But in this case, there's like 8 different people out there.
Tons of people ringside,
and she's being bullied into cashing in. So yeah, the Judgment Day, they beat feet, they get out of there. I like the team, I liked her earlier when Raquel is introduced to Judgment Day and Carlito's jaw hits the floor, basically.
Yeah.
I thought that was real cute. But yeah, and then Finn also, he wants a piece of Damian Priest as well.
Yeah, he wants his rematch.
But Pierce is like, "No, you guys need to defend those tag titles, so it's going to be a tournament set up."
Yep.
Number 1, who's going to even be in this thing?
Well, we have some names. We had the first match last night, the returning War Raiders.
Hey, so what did you think of their new presentation?
I'm happy they got the name back.
I'm happy they're not acting like they're time travelers anymore.
Yeah, I know. Like literally the first thing that's on their Tron is the word Vikings, and then it burns down.
Yeah.
So they're getting rid of the Viking thing. They don't have the Viking inspired garb.
They've got cuts, man. They've got motorcycle vests.
Much more
now.
in line to what they used to wear prior to coming to WWE. Just a bit more expensive looking.
Right, yeah. They got the WWE treatment from their indie gear. But no, they got the vest. They got like new merch shirts, which look pretty cool. And it's good to see Ray Rowe back. Oh,
It's
no.
it's like World of Warcraft font, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool.
Oh, right.
Not everything, look, man, not everything needs to be metal looking. Not everything needs to be like the,
I know not everything, but if your tag team name is War Raiders, come on, that should be
maybe
super
that's
metal.
the one time when
That
it
should be
should be
super metal.
appropriate.
War Raiders and the death metal font,
Yeah, everybody does that these days. We even had one for a while. Looked pretty cool too, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But
That's the reason everybody has it, because it works.
they seem happy though. They seem happy now. They don't have to act like they're actual Vikings.
Yeah, which is good because it was a terrible idea.
What role do you think Valhalla will have in this now that she's not going to be actual barefoot Viking person?
Valhalla, of course, is very much the word Valhalla is very much rooted in Norse mythology.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So if they're getting away from the Viking thing,
If they're now a motorcycle club, Valhalla MC,
maybe,
that's what she could be.
maybe.
Yeah, she is a
Other
motorcycle club.
other teams in this tournament, you got AOP New Day that's going down next week,
Okay.
and then Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee are going to be teaming up against American Made.
So we already have one. Would you that's kind of a thrown together tag team right there. Not thrown together. They're in a faction together, but they don't have paperwork. When's the last time they actually?
I don't know.
But that's fine. What'd you think of the Dragon Lee Dragon promo?
I mean, it's good they're doing something with them. Maybe they'll have some direction.
It's
But given that American Made had a pretty entertaining little video package during the show too,
that was good.
and they actually get consistent TV time, you'd think they would have the advantage of getting the win here. But if they really want to push Dragon Lee, I mean, I guess I don't know if it's the Creeds in here. I guess I don't know. I don't see Julius or Brutus taking a pin. I don't know.
Oh, I can see that. I think this is my thing. Gable's the guy. I mean, he's the guy in that group, and he's taking pins too. But I get the feeling it's going to be Gable's upset. Well, I don't know. I guess Gable could want the finish leading to a feud. Who do you see, given that we saw the Dragon Lee promo last night, who would you see taking the pin? Dragon Lee or Rey Mysterio?
Gosh.
Probably Rey, right? They're trying to push
probably
Dragon
Rey,
Lee.
but I don't know. I mean, I guess what they could do is have Chad Gable interfere, cost Rey and Dragon Lee the match, and then Rey and Chad Gable could feud. That would be good.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a couple of different things they could do if they want to. I mean, they put all that money into doing a Dragon Lee promo.
Yeah.
You know, well, I was actually kind of chuckling at his main premise in the promo because I thought for sure he was going to say, since I got here, things haven't gone the way I wanted them to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he said, since I got here, things have been going great. I'm like, are you watching the same show I'm watching,
Like,
Dragon
dude,
Lee?
you had a WrestleMania match that you had to get removed from. Andrade took your spot. You're barely on TV. You
Yeah.
barely have matches.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He's just happy to be there, guy.
Seemingly. At least in
But
character.
now he can grow wings. Which is pretty
dragon.
awesome. Yeah,
dragon.
he's a dragon. Yeah.
I don't know if he mentioned this, but War Raiders got the win over Alpha Academy in their tag match, their tournament match. Advanced. We didn't see a bracket, I don't think. So no word yet on how the bracket's constructed, who's facing who next, so on and so forth.
AOP's going to beat New Day.
Seems likely.
And then what are the other teams you said?
Well, next week there's AOP, New Day,
Yeah. New
Ray
Day
and
comes,
Dragon
I'm
Lee
sorry,
against
AOP.
American Made.
Okay. Yeah, who knows what the bracket's going to look like then.
So
who
there's
do
got to be
you
at least
see-
one more tournament match. At least one more.
Who do you see? I mean, everybody's sort of booked into the ground, but Judgment Day are bad guys, so whoever's going to come out of this is going to be good guys.
We have to give War Raiders the advantage then.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think so.
You know what I think it might be? Now that I think about it, might end up. New Day already had a tag title shot recently. Okay, so it's not going to be them. Huh. Yeah, maybe it'll be Dragon Lee and Ray. So let me ask you this. Do you think whoever comes out of this tournament, you think they're going to beat Judgment Day?
I suppose a possibility.
It's
But,
just,
I mean,
there's
I guess it
nothing
depends.
to
Here's the
grab
thing.
onto with the tag division.
Here's the thing. If they announce for not next week's Raw, the week after, that Jay and Sammy are in a qualifying or a tournament match, I guess another team was like, all right, Jay and Sammy are winning.
I agree.
They'll win the title.
And they'll win everything. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
short of that, I can't think of any team in here in this tournament, if they win it, that I'm like, oh yeah, shoo-in. They're definitely
They've
gonna
really done nothing with, unless they're going to use like the returning War Raiders. If they're really going to push them, it's like, okay, we're going to have these guys steamroll everybody, including Judgment Day. They win the titles, and it kind of resets the tag division. Honestly, that would be ideal.
Yeah.
Because like Judgment Day does not need these tag titles.
No, they don't do anything with them.
They don't do anything with them. And the tag division on both brands, I mean, hey, at least SmackDown had that big cool ladder match.
Yeah, it was really good.
And they got the Motor City Machine Guns.
Motor City! Probably won't be their theme.
Probably not. No, that's a bummer too.
Let's talk about the women's tag team titles. So Jade and Bianca defended against Damage Control. And so Damage Control had a promo beforehand. And Io was just talking about how she's in Bianca's head. She's living rent-free in Bianca's head forever. And then Jade says, to Bianca, you and I fought through the trenches, so you best believe we're holding on these titles for a while. So the match happens, and Lash legend Jakara Jackson, who faced Jade and Bianca, were sitting ringside.
You know what that means, right? They had to get the Kevin Nash whiteboard out because this was filmed before
SmackDown.
they did the SmackDown, but they had to act like SmackDown had already happened.
So they served as a distraction to help Jade and Bianca get the win, seemingly maybe setting up a match against Io and Kyrie. But then on Friday, Chelsea and Piper are ringside.
That's right.
where it was served as a distraction that ultimately led to Lash and Jakara losing. Get that whiteboard out, Steve. Try to make heads or tails of all this.
Oh my God. Whatever they do, I want it to be on main roster.
Mm-hmm.
I get the feeling they're just going to use Chelsea Piper damage control to try to pop a rating on NXT, although I don't really think that's going to. So yeah, I think that's probably going to be. Hey, isn't NXT going back to the Performance Center tonight?
I think so.
We get to see the new Performance Center.
That's what they hope they tore a wall down.
Hey, this is going to be a make or break, by the way. This is going to be a make or break because, like, here's a preview. I don't know if you put this, I don't know if you even started the notes yet for hot takes.
No.
But I put up a hot takes thread on the channel. This is why you guys need to be hitting that subscribe button and the notify bell. But I put a hot takes thread up. And one of these was, let me see if I can get to it here. It was basically saying you guys need to stop your NXT reviews because they're half-assed and it's clear you guys don't want to do them. So NXT fans are not getting their money's worth or something like that. I'm trying to find this thing. I know I saw it today. Maybe I imagined it like you imagined it.
Steve's like, all right, no more NXT reviews.
Carlos Diaz. And I'm not going to be rude to Carlos here. This is just his hot take here.
Yeah.
Because he punctuates it with Friendos for life. But maybe he's just giving us some hard home-hitting truths, Larson.
Well, I mean, hey, we like constructive criticism.
He says the NXT review needs to go. It has clearly become a burden to you, Friendos. The result is a half-assed, checked-out, rushed review. People who love NXT deserve better, and so do you, by using the 2 extra hours to do other things. Carlos. I think that's a cold take with me, buddy.
Yeah, it's not a hot take for Steve. Are we approaching NXT like Cody approaches his personal relationships? We're trying to be too kind to NXT and include it in some fashion.
Honestly, man, it's at this point. No, at this point, it's kind of a conundrum because it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Here's another thing too: is like the show ratings aren't the end all be all, but they are a litmus test, a temperature check as far as popularity, whatever you want to say about various promotions, how well they're being received. And I understand that NXT is on network television now, not cable. So in theory, it's in front of more eyeballs. Therefore, in theory, the numbers should be higher. We saw that with SmackDown when it was on network TV. And since it's moved to USA, the ratings are down.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If 4 weeks from now, 6 weeks from now, NXT is still getting 800,000, 750,000, while AEW is getting 650, 700.
What conclusion are you about to come to?
I'm not suggesting we drop AEW.
No?
No. But it's hard to drop NXT when it's performing better and seemingly has a larger audience than AEW does.
Oh, man. Damn. When did we do? Hold on a second. I'm looking at our numbers right now. This is such a fucking.
This is such a tangent.
It is such a tangent
detour here.
Yeah. What is? Oh, okay. Oh, last week. That's right. Because of the weird day, we did AEW and NXT on the same day, which is the same thing we're doing anyways.
Yeah.
Because we got hot takes now, which is the new. Oh man, yeah. I don't know. Look, we're coming. I'll put it this way. Let me just. How about this? What about this? Okay, so Time Erased here in the YouTube chat says the problem is NXT is all about cheesy segments and character stuff, and you gloss over those segments.
I mean, here's an idea, because we haven't tried it yet. You know how for Raw, for SmackDown, I've arranged the notes in a different way, so it's not segment. It's based on story. And I think we tried to do that with the NXT stuff, but since it wasn't structured in notes in any certain way, we were jumping around, trying to remember what led to that. And I understand it came across or could come across as a bit disjointed. It may be because of that half-assed.
Mm-hmm.
Get it.
Yeah.
But if it's a situation where I do the notes, I structured them in a way comparable to what we've done the last 2 shows, which I mean, people haven't been upset about it that I've noticed.
No, I think it's
So
good. Yeah, I like it
people
too.
seem cool with it.
Yeah.
And so it's more streamlined, more cohesive. Maybe we can kind of have our cake and eat it too. We can do the NXT recap. It won't be the full podcast length by itself. It maybe be 15, 20 minutes, but it'll be more structured and maybe a bit more fully formed because of it. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah. I don't know. Look, man, we're coming to the end of the year. We'll assess things how they are in a couple of weeks. I don't think it's not going to go anywhere. It takes us all of, the actual content of NXT is an hour and 40 minutes or whatever it is, an hour and 30 minutes,
roughly,
whatever it is. So it's not that big of a deal. It gives us content. Heather, no, we're not going to get rid of AEW. I was making a joke there. So yeah, no, we need stuff to review. I get it. I mean, look, I've said time and time again, like there have been, I'll put it this way, there have been NXT reviews where we have wild fun with it. People will still complain. There are NXT reviews where we play it straight and we might be bored by it, but we're doing our damnedest. People will still complain. If we get rid of it, people will complain. It is truly a damned if you do, damned if you don't, because it's at that sort of place where you're right. Like, it's popular enough. People want to hear our thoughts about it, but it also isn't necessarily our thing. So, like, okay, you guys want us to hear it, talk about it. We do that. And then people complain about it. It is one of those things, and it is what it is. My thing about, like, the show is that we're always trying to grow and whatnot. And part of that is I really enjoy, for example, I enjoy Count Out because it's the kind of thing where people can go back to, and the research is always fun. We have a good time with it. I have a good time with our hot takes thing right now, which is also the kind of thing that people can go back to. We could do some historical stuff. We could do some current stuff. And so, I don't know, whatever keeps people engaged with, which we have a metric for, it's called views.
Yeah.
Whatever keeps people engaged is what we want to continue to do.
Yeah.
So,
hey, speaking of engagement, we haven't made our pitch yet. If you could, please hit that like button. Leave a comment here on the YouTube video. Engagement helps our videos, our channel, and the YouTube algorithm do better, I guess. So please, if you could, hit that like button.
Yeah.
Leave us a comment.
Yeah. And we've got also the Friendo Club setup. It's $5 a month. Click join right here at youtube.com/Stephen Larson or go to patreon.com/Stephen Larson. Click on the Friendo Club setup. Over 700 bonus episodes out there. We will. Oh, hey, no pay-per-view this weekend. Maybe you and I really need to, get some of these bonus episodes in. So there's that. Bonus episodes, question threads that we have for all our episodes. And then, of course, also the Big Blue Predictions Challenge. We have a new Big Blue Predictions champion. And, of course, it's Gregory Fiella. I forget. I think it's Fiella.
I think it's Fiella.
I always ask that question. Anyways, his Big Blue Predictions hat is going out in the mail today. It would have been yesterday, but it was Indigenous People Day, so the post office took the day off. So I'm going to run down there after the show and put that in the mailbox for Gregory and the other ones that I owe as well. I think Champ has his hat going out as well, so be sure to check that out. And the next predictions challenge is going to be for
Crown Jewel. Yeah.
Is there, and what's after Crown Jewel? When's
then
Full Gear?
And Full Gear is the 23rd, and then War Games is the Saturday after that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we'll talk about how to approach it. We could just do Crown Jewel as its own thing and just load it up with
prop bets and stuff.
Prop bets.
That's going to be tough. It's only going to be 5 matches, though.
Yeah, and it'd only be like a 2-week reign. Let's just do a month of champions. We'll do November as the month of champions.
Month of champions it is.
We'll do that.
There we go. Anyways, getting back to this tag match.
Wait a second. Hold on a second. Heather says, I mod on 3 other wrestling channels, and none of them cover AEW at all?
Really?
One of them is exclusively a TNA channel. Wow. What are the other channels, Heather? I'm just curious. Who doesn't cover AEW?
WWE channels.
Man, how they get out of that? Sorry, man. I just like to talk shit.
You do.
He says, how can you mod that many channels?
So Jade and Bianca gets the win here. Bianca hits a super impressive KOD on EO to get the win.
I could watch EO and Bianca wrestle all fucking day long.
All day long.
All day
so
long.
Good. They got such great chemistry.
Yeah.
Good match. It's a really good match. Go check it out. Then Bron Breakker, he wants Seth Rollins. So since Seth cost Bronson this last Monster Standing match, which makes sense why Seth would do that, Bronson hit him with 6 tsunamis. Tried to end his career. So, anyways, they had this was a bit different. It was more like Adam Pearce called it a meeting, but it was essentially kind of an interview. But it was shot more cinematically than your standard. All right, 2-shot. They talked back and forth. Like there was over the shoulder stuff. They were cutting back and forth. It was fairly well done.
This should be everything.
I agree.
I think they're going to do this for special occasions, for like more serious, because they didn't give Seth the same thing. Like,
no, it was a 2-shot. Yeah,
Seth was just a single 2-shot. I thought this was really cool. They should do a lot more of these.
They should. So Pierce says, hey, this may surprise you, but I appreciate your time. I called this meeting. And Bronson just wants to get down to it. It's like, let's just talk business. And Adam says, I'll give you credit. You went out there to try to make a name for yourself. You did that in a short amount of time. And I give you and everyone else here. I'd like to explain Pierce's management philosophy here. It says, I give you and everyone else a lot of leeway to handle things the way you want. That means chaos. It means I take criticism.
He likes it. He likes the chaos. I love that philosophy.
But he says, where I draw the line is during the last Monster Standing match, you threw my referees, you crashed through the wall, you put the WWE Universe at risk. So, Pierce is all about the contained chaos within the ring, backstage. That chaos goes past the barricade. That's where the issue is. That's where the line is drawn. And Bronson says, I'm sorry if my actions crossed the line, but in a match like that, no one could stop me. If it wasn't for Seth, I'd been the last monster standing. So when is my match? And then Pierce says, no match till we're on the same page. And Reed says, all the destruction, all the tsunamis was to get me in the main event. Isn't that the ambition you want?
That's a great motivation. It's a great line.
It is. And Pierce says, yeah, no, I get that. And so Reed says, so make the match. I just want the spotlight, the one-on-one versus Seth, so I can show you that I'm a top guy. And Pierce says, I'll give you the match. Give you the match, no trouble. Are you a man of your word now? Look, if we're on the same page, I'll do my best and I'll talk to Seth. And Reed says, you're smarter than I thought you were. And Pierce just says, imagine that. Talk soon. And Reed says, don't make me wait too long. So later on, Seth's in the locker room. Pierce walks in. And he wants the match. That's the first thing he asks Pierce. I saw your talk with Bronson. Do we got the match? And Pierce says, he wants it. But let's be honest. You've had 6 matches this year. You weren't healthy for any of them.
That is brutal.
It is.
Yeah.
Mania, Money in the Bank. Bronson puts you on the shelf. And Seth's like, injuries happen, man. Pretty blasé about it. And Pierce says, there's injuries, and there are injuries. And Seth this goes on and says, we signed for this business. We know injuries are part of the deal. We fight through them to get to the top. When you get there, young guys want to make a name off your name. You did it. I did it. Now Bronson's doing it. There's a reason I run this place near the top of the food chain. I think everyone's forgotten. I slay beasts, conquer kings, and it sounds good to want to hunt a monster. I need people like Reed to bring out the best in me. It's how I stay on top. I want this fight because he tried to ruin my life, but I need this fight. You want the best version of Seth on your show? Think about it.
There you go. I like that stuff. I wish they would have given Seth the same cinematic treatment that they gave Reed. But I guess time's tight. They got to get to Europe.
Yeah.
Also, what did you think of the American Made video package?
It was pretty funny.
Yeah. It's because of Brutus. He's hilarious. He said, hey, Merriam-Webster, you idiots. Next time you want a definition of greatness, just look at a picture of American Made. I love that because it's just like a twist on the whole. You want a definition of American Made, look in the dictionary. You see a picture of us. He called Merriam-Webster idiots.
Yeah.
That's the greatest
and
twist.
And then he laughed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it is preceded by Gable saying what the definition of greatness is.
Yeah.
And then Ivy says, this is a land of opportunities. So now everyone back there has the opportunity to get their teeth kicked in by the greatest athletes in the world. Julius says, we were sick and tired of you entitled degenerates looking for handouts. And Gable says, this country needs a hero. W Universe needs a hero. But we will be that for you. We'll put the team on our back and show you what it means to be American made. American made, and they're driving around in a Jeep or something like that.
Yeah. They need to give them their own American Made Express.
Absolutely.
They need a bus, go dead mall to dead mall, because unfortunately malls are just not the thing anymore. Although
Mm-hmm.
Gallery is nice. You go by Arden, which is scary. That's crazy to me.
Nothing scary about it.
You can get shot, dude. Whoop. Anyways,
Nothing scary about it.
no, man, put him in a bus.
Yeah, put him in a bus.
Go to mall to mall, and that'd be wildly fun.
Yeah, agreed. So we
Also-
talked about the. Sorry.
I was gonna say also wildly fun. This Miz R-Truth carrying cross stuff, it's cracking me up. Cause like Miz is in there and he gets rolled up. The Final Testament come out, and we get a bunch of Wyatt Six stuff. So they're probably gonna be coming after Miz, I'd imagine.
Yeah, seems like it.
But afterwards, Truth is all happy. He tries to hug Miz. He walks past Final Testament. I think he daps up Cross.
Yeah,
Cross
Cross
is
kind
all
of smiles, and then as soon as R-Truth walks past, it's just
It's his face. He just says, get him right now.
yeah.
And they run and they beat up R-Truth. Yeah, it was pretty funny stuff. I like that. I like what Miz is doing with carrying Cross right now.
Yeah, hopefully it helps Karrion Kross a lot. Like, it really establishes his character so they can start doing something with him in Final Testament.
Oh, they're doing plenty with him right now. I think it's great. You have to appreciate what you have while you have it, Larson.
I suppose.
I don't think he's going to be sniffing that main event scene
No,
anytime
I'm not
soon.
suggesting that, but just, more interesting stories, more involvement. That's
Yeah, this is fun stuff. I like this. I'm good with this.
all right. You want to answer some questions?
Yeah, I think we should answer some questions.
Answer some questions. B-Man here says, should the story be Jay loses clean to Braun next week and his convinced family is there for him, or Jay is cost the match, inadvertently or not, by his family, manipulated back at the family, the hopes or with the efforts of the family to make up for it?
If Jay's going to lose, it's got to be because, Tamatonga, Tongaloa stumble out there and wonk the finish. That's what's got to happen.
Yeah. Oh, Sebastian Garcia says, who'd be the most shocking wrestler to find in your room saying, you got a minute? So you walk into your office there, and in your chair you're sitting in right now is sitting.
Well, I got a
wrestler.
couch right here, so it'd be like, because when you open the door, you see immediately
That's
the
true.
couch.
That's true.
So somebody's sitting there, like Jimmy was sitting there. Somebody says, you got a minute. Oh, man.
Ricochet.
Oh, jeez. So
You got
awkward.
Ricochet derangement syndrome, Steve.
So awkward. Okay, that's not a thing. That's not a real thing.
I mean, it is because you're exhibiting all the symptoms.
Boy, there was, man, we just need to make the crossover from people debating and being furious, by the way, about our star ratings. We need them to leap over to the Twitter and do that. Don't just relegate it to the YouTube comments, because boy, oh boy, 4.25 stars. I regret one thing. I regret not rating Jay White Hangman higher than that match. That should have been 4.5 in the triple threat, 4.25.
Really good match. They're both really good matches.
They're both, dude, those are, 10, 15 years ago, match of the year candidates.
Yeah.
But today, it's just one of many. My spirit animal is a Dorito says, what was the best Halloween costume you wore as a kid?
I honestly don't remember a whole lot
Mom
of
made
my
me a really
Halloween.
cool Batman 89 costume.
Yeah.
Because my mom would sew shit for me. We
Yeah.
wouldn't go out and buy stuff.
I honestly don't remember. I don't know. Probably went as Luke Skywalker one year or something like that. I don't know.
Really?
I'm just guessing.
From
I don't know.
which-
I
you don't
literally
know.
don't remember any of them.
You just threw that out there.
Yeah. I was
What-
a really huge Star Wars fan.
From which movie?
For some reason, I have a very vague memory of like an X-Wing pilot outfit. So like the orange jumpsuit.
So
and
you
then,
could have been Porkins for all you know.
for all I know. But instead of, not the helmet, but you just had the mask with the elastic you put over your head for the helmet part. I don't know if that was even a thing. This could be like The Rock being on the Raw taping,
Right. Or you got Centel as a Halloween kid.
So, yeah, exactly.
Heather just said Zack Sabre Jr., Zack Sabre Jr., Zack Sabre Jr. I think she just found out that he won the IWGP title.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
We
used to cover New Japan.
Yeah. Mr. Sinister says, if Tiffany was about to cash in on Liv, then what was the point of them saying that a SmackDown Raw winner cashes in on their respective brands, but now it seems they can go any way they want? Thoughts on this? Not that long ago, they said that Tiffany could cash in on Nia, Liv, Roxanne, and I believe they even brought up Kalani Jordan.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing cross-brand stuff. When did they say
yeah,
they had to stick to their own brand?
I don't know. I mean, Charlotte, she won the Rumble, but
Edge
yeah,
went to all shows.
yeah.
Charlotte cashed. Yeah.
When she won the Rumble, and Edge too, when he won the Rumble, he was entertaining all the options.
Mm-hmm.
Luis here says, is the show being pre-taped hurting interest in the show in itself? And follow-up, how do you feel about pre-taped shows?
I mean, yeah, there's spoilers out there. I mean, here's the thing about pre-tape shows. It's not the fact that they're pre-taped. It's that, like, usually when they're pre-taped, they're doing a double taping, so they like their big angles on the live shows.
Yeah.
So when they're pre-taped, generally speaking, they don't really do big angles. I thought that, the fact that it didn't get out that Jimmy and Jay had a little short face-to-face, I thought, probably means they filmed it at SmackDown and the Raw crowd didn't see that.
Yeah, because the live audio they pumped in for that segment, there was no.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It was very subdued, which made me feel like it probably didn't.
On top of that, like, it wouldn't have even made sense for the live crowd because they hadn't seen SmackDown yet.
Yeah.
And that shit had to have. Yeah. It would have been kind of confusing.
Yeah.
C Machine says, if you got to work in the wrestling world, what work would it be? Ref, commentator, manager, wrestler, announcer, GM, writer, etc.
Commentator.
Commentator would be fun. You and I should commentate some matches.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Josh here says, I'm hoping Chelsea Green will follow the War Raiders as the next to be able to drop their more goofy aspects of her character and get back to what she does great. Agree or disagree?
Disagree hard. Hard disagree. She is
great at what
awesome.
she does now.
Yeah.
I think she'd be great at anything.
Same.
But what she's doing now is wildly entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think she's terrific. I think you could do the same thing you're doing with her now, but have her win.
Exactly. Yeah, I think absolutely. Timor here says, with James Willems recently get back in the ring, when can we see him in ACW?
Millennium Pro Wrestling he came back to.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I didn't know that he was interested in doing that again, but that's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
As far as Action Coast, I don't know. We provide our guy with what he needs there, and he runs it, and but maybe something to look into.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how much Mr. Willems is charging these days. Should be an arm and a leg though. He's great.
He is great.
Dave Matuszek says, with Konosuke Takeshita defending the AEW International Championship at Maple Leaf Pro, what other non-WWE and AEW promotions should he take the belt to?
Take it back to DDT, but defend it in a match that happens in an office building or something like that.
That'd be ideal. Yeah, water slide, water park.
Yeah, water slide.
Maybe a mini golf place.
That'd be fun.
That'd be cool. Yeah, bowling alley. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Anyways, that's all the questions I have over here.
Chris Stanton says, best roller coaster you've ever been on. Steve doesn't like roller coasters.
I don't like roller coasters, man. I don't like that shit.
I'm not huge on them either. There was one at Magic Mountain. See, I draw the line with roller coasters that if I have to be in a structure and that my feet have to be touching something.
Dangling.
If my feet are dangling, I can't stand it.
Okay.
That's a measure of control that I don't have with my feet not grounded on something.
Yeah, dude.
So they have one that you shoot off super fast and you go on the inside of the loop and go to the end, and then when you go back, you go on the outside of the loop.
Yeah.
Back to the start. It's quick, super fast. It was fun.
So, like, the one that I actually kind of remember was just same. It was Six Flags, and it was like the Superman ride, and all it is, it just goes like straight up.
Yeah.
And then at the tippy top there is Superman standing, and he's facing you.
You can just kind of stay there for a moment, and then you fall back down.
Yeah, you get to say hi to Clark, and then you go back, and that was
super
cool.
high.
It's a Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can fly or just jump really high, whatever.
I don't like that stuff, though, man. I don't like that.
No,
stuff.
I'm not huge on. I don't like heights.
Dude, they did. This is stupid, but they did one here in town, once a year, twice a year, something like that. And man, we got on the most rickety. This thing looked like it was made in probably like 1913.
Yeah.
And we got on it, and it wasn't even that high off the ground, but it was high enough that if you're falling, you're gonna mess yourself up. Probably won't die, but you're mess yourself up.
Yeah.
And I got on this thing, I was like, oh, this thing just feels rickety as all get out,
Yeah. I don't. The Incredicoaster at California Adventure is pretty chill because when you're going through the highest parts of the coaster, it's you go through a tube.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So you can't look down and see the ground, 150 feet below you, how high up it is.
Mm-hmm.
So you zip up there so fast, and you go through these tubes, the highest part. Like, all right, this ain't that bad.
Yeah.
It's the heights that get me. I don't like heights.
Well, yeah, because if you fall from really high up, you know what happens.
Yeah. We can end on this one. Another theme park themed question. Atomic Nerd says, if you were to create a wrestling theme park, what would it be called, and what rides and foods would it feature?
A wrestling theme park?
Yeah, wrestling themed theme park.
Well, that sounds fun. Oh man. I don't know. Why did you read this question? It's so on the spot.
Putting you on the spot.
Like, gotta be clever on the spot. Come on.
I know.
It'd be the world class championship wrestling theme park.
There we go.
Visit the Von Erichs, then they have like these rides. Just that look on your face, yeah, just be like, oh. All right, man, that's gonna do. You're gonna get me in fucking trouble. That's what you do. You just try to get me in trouble, man.
I don't try to get you in trouble. I don't try to do that at all.
Listen, everybody. Any jokes I may have made about AEW, NXT, talk about NXT. We're gonna review NXT. We'll try to, man. You know what, man? On Thursday rather, because we're gonna do it on Thursday. We're gonna bundle it with our AEW review, NXT review, AEW, and if people even complain about the thumb, they're like, "Why is NXT not in the thumbnails?" It's not a prestige spot. We're trying to sell it. We're trying to get people to tune in. If I could put a thumbnail of, Trick Williams or Roxanne Perez and have it do the numbers that we needed to do, I do it. But I kind of know how this shit works. I do that. It's going to get like 5,000 views. So don't take it personal. But we're going to continue to review it. I'll do what I can about giving it my full-throated enthusiasm.
Yeah. Well, I think restructuring the notes that could maybe go a long way.
The thing about the NXT reviews is that sometimes it is the little things. What? Why do you laugh? What do you got that grin on your face for?
Nothing. Continue.
Sometimes it's the little things. Man, if you don't tell me what's on your mind right now,
There's nothing on my mind.
what you want to get rid of the NXT reviews?
No, I'm not laughing about that. Just carry on with your point. We can wrap it up.
All right, man. I'm just saying we'll do better with the NXT reviews.
All right.
Thanks
for joining us, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Off camera, you and I we're going to talk because I want to know what's on your mind.